Hello and welcome to the Old Railway Line Garden Centre. It's July now, so Keith, we're after a bit of gardening advice for the month of July. What have you got for us?
Well, it's the holiday month, isn't it, really? Or the start of the holiday month. So,
oh, brilliant. I'll see you then.
Yes, off you go, your work is done. But, we've got to have the sunshine now. And a lot of people will be going away, won't they? So, in a way, I suppose you're enjoying the garden while you're still at home, but you're also thinking about how you're going to have it watered while you're away. So, neighbours or watering systems, you need to give that some consideration. But a lot of July, I think you're enjoying, the labours of the earlier part of the year. So the flowers are at the best still, or nearly at the best. June is probably certainly for some plants a very good month, but July still flowering. But it is the start of the deadheading season, if you like. The first of the roses will be finished in July. Will need to be deadheaded just to tidy them up, and a lot of the bedding as well. So keep on top of that. It just keeps it neat, stops them seeding, and if flowers do seed, the whole plant then has done its job, so it stops flowering. So you need to prevent that.
So key thing is this deadheading then?
Yeah, it is through the summer, and of course watering with baskets and pots and dry spells. They'll need watering most days. So there is work to do. There's always work to do in the garden, as you well know by now. But they're easier jobs, and jobs you can do in 10 minutes and then go and have a sit down for a while. So it's really just keeping in control of things, watering, weeding if you need to, pests and diseases. You just keep your eye open for aphids and other problems and deal with those. If you deal with them early, they tend not to become too much of a problem later on.
I know a big thing we do here at the Garden Centre is feeding now through this month, like all our hanging baskets and things, they need to be fed. I know we use things like Miracle Grow, the liquid feed. Is that the best on the market? What sort of thing would you suggest for?
Well, anything's better than nothing really, and people have got their own preferences. The compost in July will have started to lose its fertility because you're watering it so much and the plants are taking nutrients out, so you do need to keep that fertility up. And you can put granules in, just add a few more. You probably put some at the beginning, or a liquid feed once a week. It doesn't really matter what you use, as long as you use something, and it just keeps them flowering and looking at their best for as long as possible.
And that's what we want, is it? All these bright colours to continue on right through the summer.
Yeah, you've spent the money, you've done the hard work, you've planted these things, and you want them to look as good as they can do for as long as possible to get your money's worth in a way. But that's what the summer's about, isn't it? Having colour. It's what everybody wants in the garden.
Brilliant. What about the ornamental garden, Keith? What's going on? Much going on there?
Well, this deadheading applies to that as well.
Right.
The herbaceous plants and so on. Probably in the main part of the garden, you can fill a few gaps in at this time of year, but there's plenty available still. If you've got something just a bit missing, you want to add a bit more colour. So adding plants and planting, but a lot of it is just, I say, weeding, deadheading, controlling things. So tying in sweet peas and roses and things that, particularly if you have a heavy shower of rain, which we're about to have, I think. Plants can flop and they can get a little bit messy, so you just need to tie them in or get some plant support through the summer months. That's a job that's worth doing, because it spoils all your hard work if you're not careful. But it's not arduous work.
No, that's it. And the other thing is the lawn. We always do a bit on it. It's just cut at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, well, hopefully it's been fed in April, May time, and the lawn will be looking pretty good. But as we go into the drier, hotter part of the year, just raise the cut a little bit so it leaves a bit more grass on. If you scalp it, it'll really go brown and you'll be disappointed. And if you leave that bit more grass on, don't need to worry about watering lawns unless they're new lawns. If they do go a bit brown in July, August, they'll green up again in September. So just leave that little bit more grass on, but yeah, cut it on a regular basis because it just looks so much better for it.
And as far as the veg garden is concerned, I know at home now we're starting to eat a few of the veg that is coming along a bit. So you're kind of starting to get stuck in there a bit.
Yep, the early potatoes are coming in July. The leaf crops, the lettuce, the radish, we've been eating those for a month or two now. The tomatoes, cucumbers, aubergines and peppers in the greenhouse. So yeah, it's a good harvest time. But you can still sow things. or you can plant, there's little bud plants that we sell in half dozens or dozens, just to keep that continuity. I mean, I grow most of my veg in pots, so as soon as pot's finished, out they come for the fertiliser.
Start again.
Plant another lot, yeah.
That's brilliant. And is there anything else now we need to know for the month of July, or are we all just going to kick back now and enjoy this sun?
Well, clearly you are. You've been given permission. A lot of people still will feed the birds through the summer, and they'll be bringing young birds in. We've been watching young great tits on our nuts this week, and young woodpeckers. So keep feeding the birds, fresh water for the birds. Keep the ponds tidy. If they're getting a little bit overgrown, take some of that to plant out. Keep on top of the algae in ponds, either with the old net or the stick, or if you want to use chemicals you can. It's really just controlling the growth, because there will be a lot of growth. People come back after holiday, and a week's holiday recently, and came back and the garden was completely different. I had to really get in there and just tidy it up and sort it out, and cut back here and cut back there, just to tidy it back to how I wanted it.
That's brilliant. Well, the message is there are still bits to do, even though we want to enjoy the sun.
Yep.
So don't feel like there's nothing you can be getting cracking on with.
We're still here, come and see us. There's plenty of things here for you to add to the garden.
Thanks very much, Keith.
Pleasure.